Good morning from Santa Rosa High School. It is the NCS North Bay Track Championships. Should be a lot of fun, and it's all coming up next right here on Trojan Live.
Thank you very much!
All right, I am Griffin Epstein joining you from Santa Rosa High. We're going to start right off with the first running event of the morning that will stretch into the afternoon. It's the girls 4x100 meters, and the Trojans of Petaluma have one of the top times in all of the North Bay. Third, in fact, only behind Redwood and McKinleyville at a time of 51.06 seconds. Trojans are in lane number 3. Their starter is Haley DeMartin. Second leg, Courtney Bell, Miranda Lindberg in the third leg, and the anchor is Jessica LaShawn Galdos, the captain of the girls' sprinters. Top 7 make it to NCS. Trojans have NCS Meet of Champions next weekend in Berkeley in all events. Trojans have an excellent shot here at doing that. They won SCL last week in a very talented and young 4x100 team. Just getting ready for the starting gun here at a beautiful sunny day at Santa Rosa High. We'll be bringing to you all of the events coming up throughout the day. A lot of exciting stuff going along in Petaluma track and throughout. Here's the whistle.
Starters, guns up.
Starters are up. They're in the shadows a little bit. It's a little hard to see on the opposite side of the track from me. But they get up. There is Haley DeMartin for the Trojans. See if the Trojans could possibly pull out a victory here. Maybe win this. They have a shot, outside shot, but could be competitive next weekend. If they could do that here, they're underway here. And the staggered 4x100. Start is so pivotal in this one, but the handoff's even more vital in the relay. So here they come. And it's Casa Grande with a good start. They have a big lead. The Trojans near the back of the pack. Sorry for that camera angle. Courtney Bell will give it up to Lindberg here. It's still Casa Grande in front, but Santa Rosa behind. Trojans have moved into 5th. Trying to gain up some ground with the speedy final leg. But it's Casa Grande way out in front. They're going to win it. Trojans trying to get 5th here. And Casa wins Santa Rosa 2nd. Trojans will finish in 5th.
Final call for girls 16.
Good finishing leg there for LaShawn Galdos. But it was a slow start for the Trojans, and they couldn't really make it up. So they finished 5th there out of the 5. And Casa Grande, the last team to get into this final leg. There was 3 sections of this 4x100. Shocks everyone and wins it. So they'll be headed to NCS next weekend. And we'll see the Trojans a 5th place finish. There were some fast times in the first 2 legs. They're going to have to compile it, but it is going to be close to see if they did enough to make it. You can see Trojan athletes there high-fiving, but a little bit disappointing on that 4x100. Smooth handoffs, but just a little bit of a slow start, and weren't able to really get things going. Well, we'll have a variety of events throughout the day. Coming up next is the boys 4x100. In the second leg, we will see the Trojans 4x100 boys team, which was the last team to get into that second leg. But we saw Casa out of the 8th spot in the lane, able to make it. So we'll see how the Trojans do. That's coming up next. Highlights will certainly be Sydney Dennis. What can she do in the long jump and the triple jump for the Trojans, along with the 100 and 300 meters. She has got a chance to really shine there. And also Jack Dunbar in the 1600 and 800. They both won SCL in multiple events last week, and they should be among the highlights of this afternoon for the Trojans. Both certainly seeming like they should have realistic spots for a spot in the state finals, June 1st and 2nd, but they need to qualify first here today, possibly could win it all. That would definitely mean a lot. Well, we have the results now for the girls 4x100, and the Trojans did just make it in. They finished 6th out of all of the heats with a strong time of 51 seconds and 3/300ths of a second. So that was enough for the Trojans to advance, with the top 7 advancing as they squeeze in by. Arcata finished 5th, Casa 4th, Redwood 3rd, McKinleyville 2nd, and Marie Carrillo, which was out of that very first leg, but they had a slow time last week when they had some issues, was able to win it. That's the first time that has ever happened here at the NCS Redwood Invitational. So the Trojans boys 4x100 team coming up next. We'll see how they do. John Candale will start it off for John Candale will start it off for the Trojans, followed by Devin Hong in the 2nd spot, Nathan Hale in the 3rd, and the senior Chase Pinkleton is the anchor on that. It's a mix of both some sprinters and some middle distance runners for the Trojans in this one. Candale and Hong will both participate in the 100-meter dash today, while Hale will be in the 400, and Pinkleton is exclusively a relay man. He will participate in the 4x400 all the way at the very end of the day. Perfect conditions. There were some issues at both the MBL finals and SCL finals, but not today. Here's the whistle. Trojans in the 8th lane, so they start all the way out in front. As you can see,
Guns up.
John Candale way out there. He will start. I'm sorry, Devin Hong is actually starting, so my list is wrong, but that's the junior Devin Hong. So he will start for the Trojans. Quick start, so vital. You got to get out of the gun very quickly. The reaction time is key in such a short race. A longer race, not as vital. Well, they're off here. Good start for Hong.
It's a good start. Coming into the first.
See how the handoff goes. Apologize for that angle. Give the stick off to Hale, and there was an issue for the Trojans. At least initially, they got through it, and we're still working on our best camera angles, but it is in the 7th lane. It is Sir Francis who leads. Trojans starting to give up some here as we reach the 3rd, but this is a tight one here. Trojans can make it to NCS if they have a quick finish. They give it off to Pinkleton. It's Santa Rosa in front. Now Pinkleton falling behind here. He's going to be 7th. And it is Sir Francis Drake that will win it. Trojans finish in 7th. So Cando actually finishing that off. That order was all off my sheet. But Trojans had a little bit of trouble going from Hong to Hale. Stole him down a little bit. And we'll have to see if that is enough for them to make it. It depends on in the 2nd heat, before the 1st heat before this, if anyone faster was able to make it. It's unlikely, but we will see for the Trojans. All right, we're going to get your first field event as relays continue around us. Trojans are not. The boys 4x100 will not be making state. While in the final heat, it is looking like it's Marie Carrillo who's running away from things once again. They're going to had a really strong set of sprinters. They set the record last year, this team. Meanwhile, here is Dennis in the long jump. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the triple jump. Hard to see the long jump next.
2nd call.
Can't get a first type, but looked like a good jump there for Dennis. She's going to be battling to try to get a stun in the long jump, but in the triple jump, she's got a chance to win it all and finish first. Checking her time there. We'll try to get you that jump for Sydney Dennis, the Trojans' phenom, do-it-all, jumper and hurdler. So Dennis has gotten her first jump in of 3. Each jumper will get 3 jumps. The top 8 will move on to the finals where they'll get 2 more out of all of them, the farthest jump wins. So far, Dennis right where we expected to be. She is in a battle with Katie Hurst of Fortuna. And right now, Tennis trailing Hurst by 0.5 of an inch. We knew it was going to be a battle between those two. Hurst went to state last year in the triple jump. We'll see if Dennis can take the first place from her here and then potentially at state next, or at, sorry, NCS Meet of Champions next weekend. Jack Dunbar, there he is, getting ready for the boys' 1,600-meter finals. Dunbar's got a chance to win it. He's going to be in the pack with the top. Liam Anderson is the top qualifier from Redwood by about 10 seconds, but the second pack of Munar Kabara, Lyle Rumham, and Jack Dunbar and Ryan Pohl, about a set of 4 in there. And Dunbar's absolutely got a shot here to win it all, challenge Anderson. And maybe for the first time in senior year, his last chance to the CIF state meet in Clovis in 2 weekends, where he would have to make the tough decision. Do you do graduation, or do you go to that state meet that he's never been before? He'll hope to have to make that tough decision and be a good one to make between, obviously, 2 very good options. We'll see Michael Pichardo first in the first leg of the boys' 1,600 meters, and then we're going to get Sydney Dennis after Dunbar in a really good battle. She has been battling all year long with her nemesis, I'd call it, Marguerite Jammy of Annalee. They have been neck and neck in both the girls' 100-meter hurdles and the 300-meter hurdles. They'll battle once again here at NCS, the top 2 qualifiers in that one. That's coming up along with Dunbar. The girls' 1,600 meters is finishing up, and we're wondering, could Gabrielle Patterson of Healdsburg, she's the star, could she be beat by Jillian Wagner of Redwood? And the answer is yes, she can. Wagner starting to run away from her. You can see Wagner looking back, but they were neck and neck for the first 3 laps, but Wagner is going to pull ahead. Redwood has some talented distant runners. We get to see Liam Anderson, he's a star, as well as Wagner in a couple of minutes. But Gabrielle Patterson, only a sophomore, she'll have a long and successful high school running career with the Greyhounds. Boys 1,600 meters coming up next. There is Michael Pichardo. He was the second to last qualifier to make it into this NCS Redwood Championships. And he's happy to be here. He's a really talented runner. He once went out and ran the Clocow Half Marathon after no training, and he won the whole thing. So that's a hilly, hard half marathon if you ever experience. So he's a very talented runner. We'll see if he's able to surprise here today. The junior, he's been mentored by Jack Dunbar for the last 3 years. We'll also get to see a very talented runner from Casa Grande, Owen Height. He's only a freshman, but he had a 4:38 qualifying time coming into that. That could be, he could, if he pushes it, be fast enough to qualify for NCS. You need a 4:24 time to qualify for NCS, and it's so deep that the top 7 very much, there could be more than the top 7 that make it, because this race should be even much faster, because most of the races last week that were the fastest runs were run in poor conditions because it was very windy last weekend. So first leg here, Dunbar will be in the second leg. After this is done, it doesn't matter. The record here is 4:14, and Liam Anderson qualifying time is 4:12, so he very much could pass that. But Pichardo will be in that back grouping, second to last qualifier, ahead of Liam Sheldon of Sonoma Valley, qualified at 4:50. Anything under 5 minutes is pretty fast, and it's certainly an achievement to get here. I apologize for the tent in the way. We might try to find a new angle a little ways through this day. Track is not necessarily always the best spectator sport. There's a lot going on. The angles are hard unless you have the highest level of equipment. But we're doing our best we can to check out the most deserving and well-accomplished athletes here on this track team that had great success this year, including the girls team winning the SCL championships back-to-back. They clinched it last weekend at Pioneer for the SCL Championships there, and the boys had a strong season, 5-1 in league, finished third at the SCL Championships last weekend, and especially some talented individuals. Dennis Dunbar, to name a few, but Kale Seaver has done well in the pole vault. You have Anthony Mokel in the shot put and the high jump. Finished second both last week. We saw the 4x100 team do very well. And Erica Gilmore won the girls pole vault in SCL, so she has a chance as well.
Final call for running event. Report to the tent on the infield.
And there is the gun. They are off here in the boys 1600 first leg, and it'll be a good pace to see what they do here. That will tell us for the second time. Once they get to that outside cone, as you can see there, they can cut in and make their way into one pack. Owen Height takes the lead. Pichardo back there. Oh, sorry, Pichardo back there, third to last right now. Try to stick around in that pack, but you don't want to put yourself too hard and get yourself a worse time than preferably. And Owen Height of Casa Grande should be calling his name a lot the next couple of years, and Trojans join leagues with Casa. And see a tight pack there. Everyone's got a chance, no doubt. When you stay in there, it's a quick first lap. And Height has his brother also up there, William Height. He was the third fastest qualifier, only a second behind him. They're twins, and they're running out in front. Right behind them is the second place qualifier in this one of McKinleyville. And then Annalee in the mix there. You can see Pichardo keeping up a good pace there. Battling with a Pioneer runner. Doing a good job so far. Hard to keep up with the Height twins, though, of Casa Grande. Blonde hair, long legs, and they have some speed. You can see the McKinleyville runner trying to stay with them right now. And hope that he has a good push, a good finishing leg, a good kick, they call it, at the end possibly to knock them off. Now, that was a blazing first two laps here as they're going to come to the line halfway through this first boys 1600 meters.
This is the final call
Starting
for girls
to get some separation.
Hurdles. Girls hurdlers report to the tent on the infield for lane assignments.
And you can see the man of McKinleyville. He is taking a lead past the Height brothers. Pichardo right in his qualifying spot now. I'd like to stay with Jeremiah Cano of Pioneer, who he knows well from cross country and track, as they get ready for the turn towards the final lap. Final lap, and it's McKinleyville in front, the Height twins behind them. The man of McKinleyville, it's just a little bit funner to say, but his name is Christian Coley, 4:39 qualifying time. He's in front, and that is where that front pack is. It's Coley, Height, and of Windsor. That is Hunter Larson. So Pichardo unable to keep up with Cano, but he's a leading Sonoma Valley runner, and he's, glad to be here, glad to get the experience, and hope that next year he can maybe get a shot at Berkeley. Not easy to make, especially in the 1600. That is the deepest event in the field, and really in NCS. So many deep runners, especially in Marin. Really excited to see this second league. How about Height? Owen Height, and now the Height brothers are going to pass Cooley of McKinley. Height's got to watch out, and it's the Height brothers battling. I don't know which one's which, but the one that was in second is going to beat the other one. I think William beats Owen. An exciting finish there. That could be key. Pichardo unable to get that kick at the end. So that will do it for the first leg. The second leg, 1,600 meters. Jack Dunbar. Can he do it? Can he beat Anderson? It's one of the most anticipated races of the day, and it's coming up next. It's 4x100 finals. We didn't give those to you yet. Trojans finished 14th. Out of 22 teams, so right in the middle, times of 46.04. That will end their year. Now it's one of the meets we've been waiting for. Flynn did not compete in the girls 1600. Not sure why. Might be injury. And Pichardo finishing last in the first leg of the boys 1600. Now can Jack Dunbar win this or be in the mix? In the 800, his qualifying time is second. It's really just a less deep event. I actually think he's a little bit stronger the longer distance it goes. His brother Will, who's not doing track, often has been the more talented one in the shorter distances, but Dunbar knows he has a much better chance of getting to state in the 800 than the 1600 just because this group is so deep. You can see Dunbar up front there with Anderson, Kabara, and Ruman. This is in almost all MCAL, Marin County Athletic League, with Maria Correa, the last three qualifying spots, and Lucas Chung. Nobody else from SCL in this one, and Dunbar ran away from everyone at SCL last week, won by 3 seconds in the 1600. The gun starter giving last instructions. He makes his way up. One of the most anticipated races. Getting ready. Gotta stay calm. Stay in your moment. Know your mantra. You've worked for this so hard. And now all you have to do is perform. And it's going to be a mental game throughout. Knowing your limits, knowing your race. How do you run it? And you know Dunbar's playing this out all in his head. He's very smart when he races. He knows what he's doing. He's done it a long time. It's in the family. They're off. And Dunbar is not a quick starter. He has a good kick at the end, so he'll take a seat to the pace setters. You can see Anderson of Redwood. He's going to take a lead while the others will come on in and cut in. Dunbar's going to take a seat at the back of the front of the pack. And they are all tight in there. Lucas Chung has been one of the top MBO runners. He's off to the side right now. Not a good place to be. And Dunbar has gotten in close to lane 1, so that curves around the side of the track are going to be farther distance to take and easier. But quickly, it's Anderson out in front along with Lyle Ruman of Marin Catholic. And they are the two pace setters. Now will the pack come back to them? Or will the pack catch up to them more so? And already, as they're going to pass the tent, you can see some pushing to get up. Dunbar right in the middle of that right now. And quickly, Anderson's going to set the pace here. There's no doubt. The question is, can he keep it up or will he be caught? His strategy is go out fast, stay out fast. He believes he's the best runner. The Redwood Giants, a strong track program, so many good runners. Dunbar in 6th right now. He's got a group of Maria Carrillo runners to his right. And this is all in one pack. This is why this was so anticipated. This could be a thrilling finish. Everyone is right there right now. Anderson tried to get an early pole, but they're coming back to him. And this is why this heat is going to be so fast, because no one wants to leave Anderson. They know they can run this fast, and everyone is pushing each other. Dunbar moves up one. He's in a really good spot right now. In fifth, just lurking around, letting Anderson set the pace and just hang along for the ride. Halfway through.
Nicely together.
And everyone together as they come back around again.
Final call for boys high hurdles. Boys high hurdlers
So it's
report to the tent on the infield. for
Anderson.
lane assignment.
You can see Chung in second, who barely qualified. He had a slow time. Dunbar moving up now, sitting right on the tail of Pole, and now Dunbar making his move. Passes a Maria Carrillo runner. They've got 3 of them, so I'm not going to even try to go through the names. But Dunbar moving up. He knows he can win this, and he's in position for a very fast, potentially final lap. Now reaching the curve. He got a little bit to the outside, though. That was the issue there, and now he's pushed back. Chung in third, Pole in second. But it's Anderson in front. He has 10 seconds faster qualifying time than anyone else in the field, but it doesn't look like that right now. Chung really pushing it right now as they have a surge towards the final lap. What a race this has been so far. 1 to go in the boys' 1,600-meter final. There's the gun. And the speed increases. It's Dunbar in fourth.
Still very closely contested. Going into the final lap.
As they make a turn here, the turns are going to be vital. So hard to make those turns. Keep your legs moving, but it's Liam Anderson ahead. Dunbar gets to the outside. He knows he needs to accelerate to get to the turn, and Dunbar will. Dunbar coming after Anderson, and Jack Dunbar is going to take the lead in the boys' 1,600-meter finals. It's Anderson and Dunbar as they come towards the 200-meter mark, both accelerating and sprinting. Could Dunbar pull off a shocker? Anderson behind him. Will Anderson have too much? You can see Pole behind and a whole hoist of runners are going to keep them going forward. It's Anderson and Dunbar. And Anderson now pulling ahead. Can Dunbar haul up in second? Dunbar still going. It's Anderson pulling away. Dunbar's in a race for second. Still going. It's Anderson who's going to win. Can Dunbar finish second? Staggering forward. Jack Dunbar is going to take second place in the boys' 1,600-meter finals. What a performance from Jack Dunbar in what would be his second strongest meet. He gives a high five and a hug to Anderson. He was just too good. What a thriller that was. That lived up to all of
Doug
the
Bradley,
hype
could
and
you
then
please come
some.
to the clerk of the
Then
course?
some.
Doug Bradley, to the clerk of the course.
Liam Anderson pulls away at the end, but Dunbar is going to finish second. I believe that was Munir Kabara with the second fastest time that was battling with Dunbar at the end, but right as they came around me,
Will be the girls' 100
with
meter
about
hurdle.
300 meters left, Dunbar really found something. He'd just hang around and put himself right up with Anderson, and it was who had more left. And Anderson just had a tiny bit more, but that was a great battle by Dunbar. And you can see he's a little disappointed he couldn't have pulled it out. He's exhausted, but he knows he did it. He's talking with a couple of the other runners. Get friends with many. We're going to have the girls' 100-meter hurdles coming up. Sydney Dennis is coming up next. Will that live up to the hype of the last one? We will see. All right, there's Sydney Dennis getting ready to go here for the final heat in the girls' 100-meter hurdles. We mentioned Dennis's battle with her Annalee rival, Marguerite Jamie, and they are not even the 2 fastest in a very fast final heat here. Lizzie Dolan of McKinleyville and Hababa Sanusi of Maria Carrillo are the 2 really star hurdlers in this event. But certainly Dennis and Jamie right behind them, along with Lauren Rose of Tam and Cameron Dolcini of Fortuna. All pretty tight in there, but Dolan and Sasuni about a half a second ahead of everyone, and then Dennis and Janney right in that second pack. Top 7 qualify, and Dennis would like to be able to do that, but you never know if one person you clip, especially early, one of the hurdles, that will chip off a good 5 seconds, half a second behind your time, and could cost you. You can see she gives a handshake to her rival. As we've made our way down here behind the hurdles, and they're getting their final warm-ups in. See if this reaches the excitement of the boys' 1,600-meter finals. This place was going nuts as Anderson, Dunbar, and a whole hoist of runners came to the finish line together. They get down, ready for the gun. And they're off. You can see the quick finish in the middle with the 2 stars, Sassoon and the McKinleyville runner. Dennis, though, right there. She's ahead of Jamie. Sassoon's going to win easily. Dennis falling behind at the end. She might have gotten 7th. That was a close finish for all. And I think it was a 7th place finish for Dennis. She was ahead of Jamie early on in that race. Meanwhile, you saw why Hababi Sanusi is the star. She ran away from everyone there, though Lizzie Doland of McKinleyville was right there as well. So that's the finish of the boys, or the girls 100-meter hurdles. The boys 110-meter hurdles coming up next, but no Petaluma athletes in that one, so we'll be checking out some more field events coming up next. Okay, we've made our way over to pole vault. Cale Seaver right at his SCL mark of 12 feet and 6 inches. Trying to keep it going with few competitors left. And Annalie pole vaulter first will not make it up and over. And Seaver is waiting next. He had the 5th highest, which was Ethan Del Monte, who just did not make it at 12:06. So can Seaver be able to do it? Top 7 advance, and if he makes this, he will assure himself a spot next week in Berkeley. So all he does is pole vaulting. It's his focus. It's the final commands. I'm ready to go. The senior. Only 4 more athletes now left. So Seaver should be good for Berkeley next weekend. See if he can win it now. Here he goes. And he just hit it. He was so close there. He got up. It was a good plant to the pole, but just couldn't propel himself up enough. So Seaver's getting a 2nd chance here. The same height. We've only seen 1 jumper make it in the last few. It was from Justin Sienna. That is it. Boys 100-meter hurdles wrapping up. And then we'll get to the girls 400 meters hurdles and get to see the very talented freshman Callie Sullivan coming up. Seaver getting ready for final preparations as they're fixing the bar 12 feet in the air. It's pretty high to get up there. You have to be perfect. Lift yourself up, get the legs up, get the arms up, and one touch of the bar, even late as you're coming down after you got over, could be costly. That's what happened to Seaver. He got up last time. Oh, here goes the Trojan senior. Again, first miss last time. Trail number 2. And he does it! Wonderfully, skillfully done by Cale Seaver. It's his only track trade, and he focuses months on this, and he perfected it there. He'll move on to the next height. That was his highest pass of the year, as Seaver narrowly makes it over. But I learned from his mistakes as he just tipped it coming down last time, and able to make it over. He gets a hug from Ethan Del Monte, who's out. And see how many more. Oh, that's not a nice way to end it. He falls down. He'll be all right, luckily. Justin Sienna jumper. He took a spill before he... New angle, higher height, 2 more inches. He's never jumped this high in his high school career. Trying to keep it going with only 4 people left. Callie Sullivan coming up in the 400 meters. We'll get there once they get there, but they've just finished the first heat of that. She's in the final heat. Here goes Seaver. 13 feet exactly. Good plant, and he does get it. His hands were so close to hitting it, but he held them up in the air, and Seaver keeps it going. What a fantastic performance. He clears 13 feet. The competitors get fewer and fewer as he goes on, and he keeps it going. All right, we're getting ready to go for the 400-meter finals for the girls. Callie Sullivan in the 7th spot. She was the
First and second call, boys.
third to last time to get in with 1 minute, 1.25 seconds. The record is 56.84 seconds, and the fastest time qualifying to get in was Kristen Carter, and she's going to be fun to see. She's a star. She's probably going to run away with this. But Ascenta Polk and Marie Carrillo, actually qualifying time, hanging around. Kirsten Carter, a top 5 finish at the CIF state finals in the 200 last year, not the 400, so this isn't her strongest event, but she's still favored to win it. Getting ready to go here. 1 lap around the track. It's a unique course. Somewhat still a sprint, as Sullivan is most definitely still a sprinter. You'll see her in the 200 meters as well, coming up a little bit later. Seaver still going in the pole vault. We'll try to get back to him, but
Into the lanes.
he's giving him a chance to potentially win in the pole vault. Gun is up. And we'll try to get the best angle as they come our way. There is Sullivan. And they are off. Start is still pivotal in the 400 meters. Carson the favor. It's helpful to be in that outside lane if you're Sullivan. She comes around here, and there is Kirsten Carter, showing off why she's one of the best in the state, but it's Sullivan holding her own right now as they come towards the 200-meter mark. Now do you have that finishing kick? That's so vital. Sullivan, she's only a freshman, starting to fall behind here. We're keeping it up. Top 7 qualify. She's really close right now. Will she be able to qualify if she can just hold that spot? She's in the outside lane. It's a long final curve. Can she hold it? She's still at 7th. Good kick by Sullivan. Carter's going to win it, but Sullivan resoundingly at 7th. And Callie Sullivan with a good run here, and Callie Sullivan is likely headed to Berkeley next week only as a freshman. She finishes in 7th. There was a Montgomery girl who fell way behind, and unless there was a faster time in the second meet, which is possible, we are looking at Callie Sullivan into the Meet of Champions next weekend in Berkeley. Well, we're getting to the business end. The pole vault, and they've moved it up 2 more inches, so now 13.2. Seaver getting ready. There is only 3 more competitors left. Seaver already surpassing his highest height of the season in FCL with his last jump. And he's only missed 1 so far. That was right at the 12 meters. Yes, it is the first name Kale, spelled K-A-E-L. I don't know if his parents were vegetarian or not, but whatever the case, they found a terrific pole vaulter. Oh, it stays up! Oh, the luck for Cale Seaver. He clipped the pole. It's still bouncing up there, but it stays. And I believe they're going to give it to him. I'm not sure. They're having a conversation with him. You have 2 chances, so either way, that was his first at this height. With only 4 competitors left, Seaver clips the bar, and it somehow does not fall. So he'll head back, reminding them to stay vertical. That's how you clip that bar. Can't be horizontal, you're going to hit it. The other competitors left now. This is Greg Lowe of Justin Siena. Cooper Plattis, the NBL champion, is right there. And then the highest jumper, tied actually with Plattis, Roberto Medina as well. So here is low. And that one does fall. That pole's in there pretty good right now, and you could give it a good kick, and it looked like for a second it would stay in there, but he kicked it, and it sprung up and out. So, no go there. Now it will be Coop Plattis of Carrillo. Track powerhouse, looking like they have a good chance today of both taking the boys and the girls team titles. Something they did last year, but before that had not been done ever at the Redwood Empire NCS meet. So here is Plattis. Seaver looking on. See, he's got the nerves now. He's got a chance to do something special here. Plattis does not make it either. Just clipped it as well. So close. It's so high now that it is so hard to make it. Near the end of the limit, Plattis, though, was able to make it to 14, and he still hasn't even reached that yet, but he'll get another chance. We're calling a roll call before to who's up, no need now, because we have reached that business end of it. The highest mark ever, 15 feet, and it was actually by a Petalumen, Rennie Lorraine, back in 1995. It's a long ways to go till that, nearly more than 2 feet. Though if we see a record set that's been standing around for a while, Justin Sienna's Roberto Medina. He's a senior. Oh, Medina looked like he had it, but he didn't. And everyone unsuccessful on their first jump. And Seaver the only one where the pole did not fall, so maybe he's in the driver's seat. I don't know where that leaves you mentally, but we'll see how Seaver and everyone does on their second chances. But they're all putting pressure on themselves. Nonetheless, I think the pole is putting pressure on all of them more than each other right now. So they can absolutely go higher, but a couple of small tactical mistakes. Nonetheless, Seaver is the only one out of these four who's already got past his highest mark. The other three have all gone a little bit higher. So here is Seaver, his second attempt. Girls pole vault coming up next, and the SCL champion also from Petaluma, Erica Gilmore. She'll try to qualify for Berkeley for the first time in her career. Junior. But here is the senior Seaver. Oh, he just couldn't reach it again. Hands on his head. Again, so close, but it's that midsection. He's saying it's the elbow that time that clipped it, as he has a conversation. It's hard to tell. Whatever the case, did not make it. You just see to our right, Nathan Hale in the second leg of the 400. He was the last one to get, he was the first one, last one left of the first leg, so he's in lane 1 of that second leg. An outside shot at making it to Berkeley next week. He finished second to the very talented Bennett Simpson. So as we get low second attempt here, he will get the pole staying up. He stays alive. Wow. So low got the luck that Seaver got. He keeps on going. 1,600 final results are in, and it was indeed Jack that finished second. It was still pretty close. We saw Anderson pull away. Final 421 for Anderson. 421.616, and Dunbar 421.98, and then he was battling with Manu Kabar of San Rafael, who finished in 421.72. There was 4 runners. Actually, there was 8 runners, all within 2 seconds of each other in first. That was how exciting that finish was in the boys' 1,600 meters. Jack Dunbar is starting to come up pretty soon in the boys' 800 meters. He's certainly got a chance of winning that one. He won't have to worry about Liam Anderson in that one. So a second chance now here for Maria Carrillo's Cooper Plattis. He's a junior. Tallest one left out of these 4. And going up, he had a not close that time for Plattis. And his day is done. Oh, he headed to Berkeley next week, though. Still a good performance for Plattis, the MBL champion. So here's now the highest jumper, highest mark left in the field. Roberto Medina of Justin Siena does not make it. So close, but not good enough. Seaver getting ready to go next. The competitors are falling down. There's only 2 left. It's just Seaver and Lowe to decide who is the NCS champion. 400-meter final going on. One Montgomery runner has his necklace in his mouth while he is running. I remember how that works, but no worrying about that. Cale Seaver to try to keep it going. 2 left here, and his final chance at this height to potentially be a NCS Redwood Empire champion. Here he goes. Oh, Seaver couldn't even make it up. He just did get a good plant that time. And no chance. Tough jump there for Seaver. And he's disappointed, but falling short. We'll see if Lowe can match it, or we could have a tie as the finish. Still at 13 feet here. Here's Lowe. Yes, Rob Lowe! Not Rob Lowe. His last name's Lowe. He could be as happy as Rob Lowe. Lowe of Justin Siena. A perfect jump there. And he is in command now.
We are here with Cale Seaver after he finished his 4th at the NCS Redwood finals here, and a very strong performance for you today. A foot higher for you than at SCL's last weekend. How are you able to improve in this 1 week against the top jumpers in the North Bay?
I think I had the form all along. I just needed to get my head in the game and make sure I did what I was doing in practice at a meet.
And pole vault is just your single event. A lot of track athletes have multiple events. What's been the advantage for you just being able to focus on this one event for you?
Well, I've been able to obviously dedicate much more time to it because I practice 2 days a week outside of track.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just be able to focus on one thing.
Pole vault's a really unique and interesting sport. What's been the key for you to excelling and becoming one of the elite jumpers?
I think it's been so easy for me to improve so quickly because of my gymnastics experience.
How do you deal with that, seeing your other competitors jump and then you maybe have to follow them or match them?
Well, since I'm kind of a freshman in this sport, I'm just happy with whatever I can do.
Well,
I don't compare myself too much to the other jumpers.
And next weekend, you'll be heading to Berkeley for the Meet of Champions. What are you looking to accomplish there as a senior? It'll be your either final or second to final track meet if you can make it to state.
Well, I'd like to PR again. I was pretty close to making 14, so hoping for that.
Good luck, Cale. Thank you so much for the interview.
Sure, thank you.
That was Cale Seaver after his fantastic performance at the pole vault this afternoon.
So Courtney Bell coming up. The sophomore for the Trojans had the tied for the fourth fastest time coming in qualifying times for the 100-meter dash. Sophomore, and she has turned into a young star for the Trojans in a really sort of a middle pack behind Hababa Sanusi, who we already saw from Maria Carrillo in the 100-meter hurdles. She has the fastest time, but she's going to be battling with Nava Cone of Redwood. Bell needs a top 7 to qualify for Berkeley next week. Also have the girls' triple jump results. Sydney Dennis finishing second in a tight battle against Fortuna. Still the long jump for her coming up later on, but she'll be headed to Berkeley in that next weekend. Definitely a realistic chance to qualify for the state meet. Runners ready. Bell is in lane 6. You can see her there, right to the right of your screen. Good start for her as well. It's Sassoon in the middle, but the Redwood runner Nava doing well. Really good run though by Bell. She is definitely going to qualify there. Looked like a top 6 finish. She spotted the camera too. As Courtney Bell, an extremely spirited sprinter, and you love to see the good sportsmanship afterwards. It was Sanashuni who ran away from everyone, but it was Nava in second. Bell looked like 5th or 6th. We'll get those final results to you later on, but a good run for Court. Coming up next, boys 100-meter dash. We'll see Devin Hong in the first heat, John Candow in the second one. Then we'll head back up top to film what should be two very exciting 800-meter races. Camille Flynn in the final heat. She is running. She did not run in the 1600, but she is running in the 800 final heat. She should be competitive in a tight heat that should go fast. And then it's Jack Dunbar in the boys 800 heat. He told me, as we talked to him a couple minutes ago, he is dealing with a blister on his foot right now, but he's still going to try and win, and he's got a very reasonable shot. Only 2 people faster than him from Tam, it was Mezgi Nagasi and Nico Pompili of Sir Francis. Totally new people he's facing in that 800, because normally the distance runners run the 1600 and the 3200 in the middle. We'll go with the 400 and the 800, but Dunbar, a little bit unique, running in those middle distances. So we'll see if he can win that. He finished second in the 1600. Both juniors here coming up, the boys 100-meter sprinters. The girls' shot put results, Hannah Dillingham finishing 9th with 30 feet. A good finish for her. She was in that final flight, but she just finishes a couple spots out of making it to the Meet of Champions next weekend. Part of the boys 100 meters. It's a packed crowd. It's a beautiful day. You can see the spectators lining the course and up in the stands. So much going on. Perfect day of track. We're ready to go here. Hong in lane number 2. Junior. It's starting to heat up here as well, so that will be a factor more on these later races. Wind not too bad, and that was a false start by Montgomery. Some are hard to spot. That one was pretty easy from a mile away to see. So he will be gone. That's not a good way to finish. That was Jaden Fernandez of Montgomery. Hong, second to last qualifying time. They're all pretty tight here on this third flight. So we'll now get an extra spot. Actually, the cart fills the 7th spot. So they'll try again. There was actually 2 false starts, McKinleyville as well, so already down to 5. And it's tight because you see Sonoma in the middle pulling away. That was really close with most of them. They were coming in fast too, but a good run by Devin Hong. They were all 5 of them right in there, very close. And we'll have to get final results to see how they did, but that was probably a good way to go out for the junior. Devin Hong of Petaluma, John Candow coming up next for the Trojans, and then the 800. John Candow in late number 8 here for the Trojans in this second heat. And the start's so important. That's why you saw the false starts. You try to get that head start, but if you do false start, you're gone. There are no second chances. 11.86. It was good enough for finishing 5th. Bennett Simpson will be interesting. He's in the next heat for Annalee. He has the top time. He was not challenged in SCL. He's one of the top sprinters in Northern California. We did also have a record broken earlier today, as in the girls' 1,600 meters, the third fastest time this year in California by Redwood.
Okay, first time push, run hard.
That was by Jillian Wagner. Broke a 30-year record here at the Redwood Empire meet. The anticipation before the start, got to be mentally in the right zone. Interesting to hear Cale Seaver say, again, thanks for his interview, that it's really, for him, he just sort of ignores the other competitors and sort of just stays in himself, even though it looks like they're watching, but it's often the way to go. It's a difference of milliseconds here in this shortest race that will be conjured today. El Molino with some fast runners in the middle. It's all very tight. Candell falling behind at the end, but a good finish for that. Well, we have relocated back up top for the two 800 runs, Camille Flynn and Jack Dunbar. After that, we'll be catching Sydney Dennis in the 300-meter hurdles. She's got a shot to be very competitive in that. And then we'll be heading over trying to catch some of the long jump and triple jump for the boys and girls, and maybe a little bit of pole vault as well. As you can see the beautiful mountains here behind Santa Rosa, and right below that is all the action. The second heat of the 800 wrapping up right now, and Camille Flynn getting ready to run in this final heat for the Trojans. Did not run in the 1600. She focuses just here on the 800 instead.
And here are your lane assignments for the third.
Petaluma supporters are here as well. You can see under that tent many of the athletes, family, friends
2 from Montgomery High School
have come
Leah Haley.
to attend.
3 from Pioneer High School, Cynthia Rosales.
So
In
the
lane 4 from
fastest
Greenfield
runner
High
here,
School,
Amy Armstrong, as the PA announcer
In
says
lane
it
5
with
from
me.
Ring Catholic High School,
The
Samantha
very
Wallström.
speedy junior
In lane
with
6
a
from
time
Saddle High School,
of
Caroline Duffy.
2:21 exactly. Second fastest time, Samantha Wallström, also of Marin Catholic, a time of 2:22. Flynn's the second to last to qualify in, meaning she'll be in lane 1
Final call
to
for
start.
Girls
2
300
laps
meter hurdle.
around the track. It's an interesting distance, as we mentioned before about Dunbar. It's
First
not
call
really
for boys
distance.
300 hurdle.
It's only 2 laps, but you can't really sprint the whole thing. It's too far for that. You just have to keep up a very steady pace. Typically a little bit of a slower start. Second lap, you really kick it in, and you just go all out. Mentioned Flynn's talent before.
Second call,
Fortunately, I didn't get to
boys
see her in the
triple jump.
1600, but
Second
we'll
call, boys triple
get
jump.
to see
Second
her
call,
here.
girls long jump.
And they're off. Flynn, you can see, well, now you can see Flynn in lane 1 there. Armstrong in lane 4 in the middle. Maria Carrillo should lead this race, but a good start for Flynn. Being in lane 1 helps with that curve early. Now they reach that first turn. They can cut in, and how about Flynn's quick start? Camille Flynn leading the pack out of the start. We'll see if she can keep it up. Focused on this, and a really good start for Flynn. Second slowest time coming in, but maybe only now she's regained in top form. Still leading the pack. Will she be able to keep it up in the second time? In second place right now, it is Caroline Duffy, the third fastest time of Santa Rosa, and Armstrong is coming on behind this. She passes the Petaluma supporters who give her support, but still long, comfortable strides in front comfortably right now. It's still a very tight back behind her. Only 1 or 2 stragglers there. Flynn reaches one lap. Now she accelerates. Can she keep it up? One more. Could Camille Flynn shock the world and take the Redwood Empire NCS Championship in the 800? They reach the curve. Is she going to be able to hold off Armstrong there? Here comes Amy Armstrong, and she overtakes her. Amy Armstrong, too strong, and Flynn falling back. It just felt inevitable. Flynn was the pace setter, but it's very hard to keep it up. And Armstrong, one of the top runners in the North Bay, shows why. She takes off, and Flynn falls back to 5th. Still wants to make sure to qualify, but she's in good position right now, even though she has fallen behind. And you can see at the top, it's Armstrong. And now Armstrong falls behind, and that is, I believe, it's hard to see there who that is, but Armstrong too far, too fast at the beginning there, trying to pass Flynn. That taxied her. Flynn's now making a late charge, as you can see here. Flynn possibly a chance to finish 4th as she accelerates. She's going to finish 4th indeed. So a good late finish the last 200 meters. Unfortunately, just went out a little bit too fast. Was the pace setter. Armstrong and others used her, but the winner was not Amy Armstrong, as would have been expected, but Cynthia Rosales, the talented junior of Piner, instead wins the 400. So we'll see Jack Dunbar coming up. Already had another record set here, and you saw it here on the girls' 400 meters. Kirsten Carter, we talked about her, one of the best in the state. Her senior year, she finished 3rd in the 200 meters last year in the state, and she sets the record here in the 400 meters. Final lap of the second heat of the 800, and it's a tight pack here. We'll see if anybody can qualify out of this one, and then we're waiting on Jack Dunbar and others in the final heat of the 800 meters. Overall team standings at the moment, the Trojans have to be happy with where they're standing overall. Currently 7th out of a lot of schools here. I couldn't tell you how many there are, but all the large schools in the North Bay, and the Trojans have 8 points to be 7th behind Terralinda with 11, Marin Catholic with 12.5. Justin Siena has really performed well. Trojans will see them in the league next year. 14 points, 15 points for Montgomery, and 18 for Redwood, 20.5 for Maria Carrillo. So the job is not done for Maria Carrillo to close out a boys title. The girls they're comfortably in front, but the boys is not a done deal just yet. Dunbar can help get some more points for the Trojans. A top 6 or 5 finish would be really remarkable if the Trojans are able to do it.
Taylor Ingram. In lane 2 from
so there is Jack Dunbar walking out. He's had about 2 hours since the 1600 to get ready. Points to the skies. He hears his name. He finished 2nd in the 1600 with a great approach. He likes sticking behind, and then that last lap, he has a great kick, which you saw. He almost knocked off Liam Anderson in a great performance, and if he performs like that in the 1600 next week, he very well might get to Clovis for the first time in his career. He's never gotten there in cross country or track. He's fallen just short by 1 place in cross country. But track in either of these events absolutely has to be a possibility for Jack Dunbar. The talented senior couldn't happen to no wonder. He's been recruited by schools to come run with them. And he's a great guy to be around as well. Final race for him here in Sonoma County, and they're off. All new runners he's racing against. We expect him to start in behind, and indeed they will.
Santa Rosa hurdle crew, you need to be at your stations. Be careful crossing the track.
So the lead here as they come in will be taken by Lucas Chung. So that is the one racer that was in, and remember, he set the pace. Now he quickly drops back, and in the lead it is Santa Rosa's, well, the breeze picks up.
Santa Rosa hurdle crew, you need to be at your stations now.
Langston Hay is in the lead right now. Fastest time is by Tams Magessi Nagasi. Dunbar, 3rd fastest. You can see him now sitting 4th. He's right behind Nagasi. You got the pace setters out there. And now they're getting ready for the kick. Just like the 1600, this one is going to be close and it's going to be fun. See the acceleration. And they're all still together there. These turns are so key now. It's going to come down to half a second. Dunbar still sitting in fourth, though, right now. Good enough to qualify, but we'll see if he can accelerate. The pack getting tighter there as Degassi of Tam has moved up, and he is pushing his way forward, trying to win this. Dunbar just got cut off, and now he is very much in a tough spot right now to come back. Still in sixth, which, unless there was a really fast time, which don't think there was in the last one, it won't be enough. Degassi accelerating. Oh, it's a sprint. Degassi, though, looks like he's in pain. He's going to be passed at the end, it looks like. Dunbar is in fifth right now. That's where he's going to finish. That was neck and neck at the end, and I do not know who won that. Dunbar will finish fifth. Should be good enough to qualify, and that blister might have been affecting him. He never really got into his kick there, and it was a really well-run race by Mesni Degassi of Tam. However, Langston Hay of Santa Rosa set the pace, and he stuck there, and they were neck and neck at the finish line. I don't know who won that at the end, but Dunbar with a good enough finish to move on to next week in this event that isn't as deep as the 1600, so he'll have maybe a better chance still in this one to advance out of Memorial Stadium to Clovis than in the 1600, even though the 1600 probably is better event. All right, through the soccer net, we're getting ready to go for the final meet here, final round of the 300-meter finals for the girls. Sydney Dennis, fourth fastest qualifying time for her coming in. 48.9. Record is 43.44. She's in the 7th lane. Fastest time, Lizzie Dolan of McKinleyville, 46.69. She is a Sydney SCL champion in this, defeating Marguerites of Annalee. You can see Flynn off there. The hurdles are spaced out every 10 meters. They're a little bit taller than in the 100 meters. It's much more a test of your endurance than the 100. And their hurdles are every 50. Someone got a hurdle. A little hard to see, but here they come, and it is McKinleyville in front. You can see Dennis off to your left there, trying to make up some ground, but there's a clear pack in front. Sanasubi, same as well. She's second to McKinleyville. Dennis at the end will look like she sluck in there, and she did beat Marguerite James of Annalee. Very close there, and that should be enough for Dennis to qualify. Good close race there between them, and it was similar, just too big of a pack between Habiba Sanasudi and Lizzie Dolan, and Lauren Ross was up there as well. But Dennis in that next pack. So that is the girls' 300-meter hurdles. We have relocated over to the jump pits. Triple jump on your right and the long jump on your left. And we're going to get to see two competitors here in the finals for both events. It's the boys' triple jump and the girls' long jump. Sydney Dennis in the finals for the girls' long jump. And it will be Anthony Mokel in the finals for the boys' triple jump. Was the final qualifier into that one. We'll see how he does here. He's only a sophomore, also competed in the long jump. He is very athletic, also does shot put as well. He's big into the fielding events. There he is. Dennis, right after her hurdles event, just walks right over here to get ready for the long jump. That's the life for her. 4 events. She's qualified in 3. She just needs 1 more, and she will have qualified in 4 events for next weekend for Berkeley. So stand by. We've got the long jump and the triple jump coming up in just a moment.
All right, some more final results for you as we wait on the jumps. Jack Dunbar does qualify officially. He finishes 6th and gets a point for the team overall.
one time of 158.78. He was just behind Alec Dirk of Annalee and Langston Hay of Santa Rosa, but we were wondering with Nico Pompili and Mezgi Nagasi who won. They were separated by less than 0.10 of a second, but it was Pompili in the photo finish that won it for Sir Francis Drake. In the girls' 800, we saw Camille Finn set the pace in that for the Trojans. She did do enough to qualify. She finishes 5th overall with a good late push, put her in risk of qualification after she fell back, but she was able to find something last 200 meters, finishes with a time of 2:23.28 to get 2 points for the team and finish 5th. Winner was a freshman, Samantha Wallenstrom of Marin Catholic. Overall, Trojans girls team in 8th out of all of the teams with 11 points. And Dennis, a big part of that. You can see many still starting to warm up. We do have the triple jump that has started to our right, so we're going to see Mokel going in that hopefully in a few minutes, and we'll get more results for you as they come in as we start to wind down the day here at Santa Rosa High. It's been a successful one, an exciting one so far here at the NCS Redwood Empire Track Championships. Courtney Bell in the 200 in the second flight about to start, so we're going to get that for you. Bell in the 6th lane. Callie Sullivan was scheduled to race, but she's actually got soccer as well, so she decided to leave for that instead. Too many sports for the talented freshman, but Bell, a talented sophomore, already with a good performance in the 100. The finals there. She qualifies for Berkeley. Outside shot here. You can see her in the 7th lane as they come around the corner. And Bell really in a good position, but the turn's going to be tough. She can keep it up. Now they're close as they make the final 50 meters. And it's Bell in the lead. As they come to the finish, Bell looked like she was about in 4th there. It was a good run for her. She had a good early start. Couldn't totally hold it off, but was in the lead for a while. And making final preparations here at the triple as the final leg of that, including Anthony Mokel, sophomore for the Trojans. That's coming up next. All right, after long last, Anthony Mokel, second person to go here. His first jump, his longest jump was in SCL. Last weekend up at Pioneer, 38 feet 11 inches. The SCL champion is also the long in the NCS Redwood Empire. It was Jack Fricker-Velmolino at 43. So Mokel is right on the edge to qualify or not to qualify. He has to make the finals and then finish in the top 7 of that. It's a unique jump. It's a hop, a skip, and a leap, and it starts right at that cone. Here's Mokel, his first jump. And he's scratchy. He's gotta make it on to the dirt on that last leap, and he did not. He might have also had his foot over that line. You can see the cone, you hop, you then skip to the next line, and you must leap at that line closest to the stand. So Mokel will have to try again, an unsuccessful first jump for him. Dennis also coming up in the long jump. Well, we're going to get a look at Jack Fricker, who's just announced as the long jump champion. Also competes in the hurdles. The finals of those, we headed to Berkeley for that next week. Stork Memorial Stadium. Here's his first jump in the triple. That was good looking. Gives a clap. He's happy about that. He's also a football player. He's really athletic, and he's the SCL champion in the triple. Test 2 for Mokel. Only a sophomore, performed well last year at SCL to get here. Now he's trying to take the next step and get to Berkeley, and that is on your way to great things when you're progressing one by one and able to do that. Missed on his second jump. They give the white flag. Missed on his first jump, excuse me. So here is his second. Dennis about ready to go in the long jump as well, to our left.
Mokel is clear, and that was a solid second jump there. See if I can hear a time, a length for that. I'll try to get that to you in a moment, but that looked like a good one for Mokel. It's Dennis for the long jump. First jump. Nine and 3/4 inches for Dennis. It was a good-looking first jump. No, I definitely did not hear that wrong. That was not 9. I don't know what I heard. It wasn't 9. Not sure on that height. That length. What was the length, Sydney? 15.3. Thank you. 15.9. Okay. So 15.9. That is an excellent first jump. Sydney's high, or Dennis's high, sorry, is 16. So she's just one off that. She's in good form on our first one. Mokel's final jump. If it's good enough, he could move on to the final set. Top 8 in all 3 rounds. Move on to that in 10 minutes after this concludes. Here's Mokel's last one. A little bit shorter than last time. Not happy look from Mokel. Again, trying to get the exact length. I'm not exactly sure, but Mokel not looking too happy about it. We'll see if that's enough, but he's on the edge right now. Dennis's second and third jumps coming up next. All right, Dennis's second jump started it well with the 15.9, 15 feet 9 inches. Just an inch off for personal best, the PR. You always want to pass that no matter what. Personal improvement. See how her second goes. She's clear. $15.3.5, so a little bit shorter that time for Dennis. She's firmly in the final round after her first jump, but that one not as good as her first. Here we have the girls 3,200 ongoing. Gabrielle Patterson in the lead, but Jillian Andrews already with a record. Lila Singh, the Trojan runner, out there for the Trojans. You can see qualifying, one of the last few to qualify in SCL. She'll try to have a strong finish to her year. Sydney Dennis coming up in the long jump, but it's Katie Hurst, her rival in the triple jump, but also here on the long jump, who's firmly in control. Sorry about that. Firmly in control, 19 inches, or I'm sorry, 18 and 1.5 inches, thoroughly above her PR by over a foot. And right now Dennis is best at 15.9, puts her in the final, but she'll try to top that. You want to get the best seed also for next week in Berkeley. Third and final jump here for Dennis. Currently sitting in 5th out of the competitors. It's Hurst in first. Trying to solidify her spot here in the finals. Maybe get a PR. $15.5, I believe. Not enough to top her past one, so 15.9. All right, Sydney Dennis is in the finals of long jump. And this is her first jump of 3 she's getting ready to do. And takes a dive forward, but she got a lot on that. It is a good first looking jump by the junior phenom for the Trojans. She'll have 2 more, try to certify her spot in Berkeley at the Meet of Champions Historic Memorial Stadium. Really an honor to be there. I know all the athletes that will be there, and it looks like there's going to be a fair amount for the Trojans. I will be excited about that. For next Friday and Saturday that will be, and then potentially the top 7 in the meets there, they will then move on to the Clovis State Meet in Clovis, that's near Fresno. That will be June 1st and 2nd, 2 weekends from now. You can see Dennis talking to her family. It's been a long day for her. Don't forget to stay tuned. We have the 4x4 for both the boys and girls. Trojans have some good teams in both coming up, and then we're going to have a couple more interviews. Hopefully talk with Sydney Dennis. We might also catch Jack Dunbar, who knows else, as well as we're winding down the day here at Santa Rosa.
From Redwood High.
All right, the Petaluma High 4x4 getting ready to go in the final heat.
In lane 1,
For the
Montgomery
Trojans,
High School,
it's
lane
Camille
2, Catholic
Flynn who will lead it
Lane
off.
3, Annalise
Erica
High School,
Gilmore in
lane
the second spot.
4,
Lucy
Santa
Ellis
Rosa High School,
in the third.
lane 5, Maria
And
Carrillo
the
High
anchor
School,
is
lane
Marana
6, Redwood High
Lindbergh.
School,
For the
lane
Trojans,
7, Petaluma
3
High
of them
School,
are
and in lane
juniors.
8, El Molino
Lucy
High
Ellis.
School.
The third one that will receive the baton is a sophomore. It's a talented group for the Trojans. You can see Flynn there and the rest in the purple. They had the third to slowest time out of this final group, or more positively, the 5th fastest time out of anyone here. The fastest was Santa Rosa at 3:59.99. They just broke 4. They're only 2 seconds off the record here at the Redwood Empire NCS Meet of Champions. And they're thoroughly ahead of anyone else. It's Maria Carrillo second at 4:04, followed by Annalie, the SCL champion, at 4:14, Redwood at 4:15, the MCAL champion Tam at 4:16, and the Trojans are 4:16.91. Montgomery and El Molino rounded out on the outside lane. So they're getting their instructions. It's each lap, 1 lap for each. It's definitely seems like endurance, but it's really a sprint for each person. It's a full lap around, and it's an interesting mix for the Trojans of runners. Lucy Ellis, more of a longer distance runner. Camille Flynn, an even longer distance runner. But Erica Gilmore, a sprinter and an expert pole vaulter. We'll get some of those results in the girls pole vault, which is still outgoing for you. But Gilmore's had a good performance, the SCL champion in that. And Marana Lindbergh, who is the anchor, is exclusively a sprinter. The boys will go after. The boys team is in the first leg, and you can see the 4 boys in purple for the Trojans. That will be the final event of the day. Triple jump, or long jump, wrapped up as well. So we'll get you the exact place where Dennis finished in her longest jump. The triple jump for the boys, Mokel did not qualify for the final. So that ends his run here, but he's had a nice day overall. And we'll get you those pole vault results. That's the final, that's still going on. It's the final thing left on cap. So there's Camille Flynn. She already had a exciting and quite interesting run in the 800, setting the pace, getting out front surprisingly, even though she was the second slowest time in the last heat. But she could not hold it on. Amy Armstrong, a couple others passed her, but she was able to sort of reclaim it at the end over. She nearly fell to the back of the pack. It was a pretty tight pack throughout, and she was able to get to 4th. So she's headed to Berkeley in that next weekend, deciding to focus on her strongest event in the 800. Now the junior will run in the 400, and we're underway. I mean, it wasn't. Flynn is not starting. Flynn is second. That's my bad, but it's Courtney Bell, actually, for the Trojans. So that is Bell out in front, and because of the long curve around the track, it takes a while to sort of let that all short out, so the Trojans look like they're out in front, but if they take the long turns, it's a long lap here for Bell, the sophomore sprinter, and good start for her, but she does look a little bit tired down the stretch. This is her third event, and it's Maria Carrillo comfortably in front, though. Santa Rosa is the champion, so we'll see if they're able to come back. Trojans sit in 5th, it appears right now. Apologies for the poor camera work. There's the exchange. Good exchange for the Trojans, and now they give it off to Flynn, who starts off a little bit slower this time. So endurance has to be a factor. Most of these runners have ran races already. Carrillo has a monstrous lead. The Trojans currently in 7th, as they have fallen behind here. Oh, significant distance for them to make up right now. You can see Flynn there and the rest of the pack already pretty spread out. Carrillo comfortably ahead of Santa Rosa, followed by Tamalpais, Redwood, El Molino as well in there. So Maria Carrillo a good 5 seconds ahead. Flynn's got some work to do. She wants to catch Annalie right now, the SCL champion in this, which has fallen back to 7th. The Trojans need a 7th place finish to qualify, so they're going to need good runs at the end. Maria Carrillo running away with things here. And they are looking like they're going to win the league championship as well. So they give it to Lindbergh for the 3rd leg. But still a long ways to go to catch Annalie. Lindbergh, though, should make up some room here. And definitely faster than the Annalie girls. So Lindbergh making up a little bit of a gap, trying to push. They want to get to Berkeley next week. Finished 2nd in SCL, this group did, in between Annalie and El Molino, which are currently 6th and 7th. And the legs, the 2 anchors here, are definitely the strongest runners for the Trojans. So we'll see if they're able to catch the Tigers or the Lions. Final SCL competition here, where teams officially in SCL. As league realignment next year, Trojans will be with Casa, which has had a solid performance. Sonoma, same as well. And Justin Sienna, who we've seen done really well, has done it. And we had a major change as we were focusing on the Trojans. Santa Rosa now comfortably in front of Maria Carrillo. So that can change with the anchors. And the Trojans were making up room, but they have lost that room they have made up, and now are trailing big once again. Erica Gilmore is the anchor here for the Trojans. Santa Rosa comfortably in front, followed by Maria Carrillo, and then Tamalpais. And you have El Molino in there as well. Annalie is getting a push here at the end, along with Redwood. Redwood is 4th. Annalie's going to finish 5th. El Molino 7th. And the Trojans will not qualify for Berkeley. They will finish last here in this final heat. So one final race left to go here on the track as Gilmore finishes off her race. We got a little VVL showdown here in this final one with Justin Sienna and Sonoma both in it. A little preview of next year, along with Arcata, Eureka, Redwood, and Ukiah. Trojans are in the 2nd lane. Nathan Hale will lead it off, followed by Devin Hong, Jack Dunbar, and Luke Ronshausen. It might not be in that order because my list apparently of names is not in order. It's just a list of names. So it will be those 4 runners, but not necessarily in that order. We'll just have to see for ourselves. Trojans come in with a time of 3 minutes and 51.47 seconds. So it looks like it's going to be Ronshausen, Luke Ronshausen, the freshman, that will get to start here. That's a big moment for him. The record is 3:24.72. It was set last year by Maria Carrillo, who again is looking like they could beat it. Their top time in MBL of 3:22, likely
by Maria Carrillo.
If they can just put up what they did in MBL in bad conditions last week, they will break that record once again. They got a lot of fast sprinters at Maria Carrillo, and it looks like, they haven't compiled all the final results, but it looks like that the Trojans will indeed, or I'm sorry, the Pumas will indeed win both team titles. So there are the runners, Arcata and your Redwood, I believe. They are lined up in the staggered start. You can come in once you reach the 200 mark on the second lap. So you have to stay in your lane for the first lap, so they make sure the curves all balance themselves out and everybody's running the same distance. Don't forget, we also will, and it was my bad, it's Devin Hong who's going to start for the Trojans, not Ronshausen, that on Tuesday, a live stream could be the last one of the year. Be a good thing if it's not, because the varsity baseball team will be at home playing someone in NCS. Not sure what the seed will be, but they'll be there. And we'll find out exactly where, when, and what tomorrow. The softball team will be at home either Tuesday or Wednesday. Same, we'll find out tomorrow. The NCS committee meeting in San Ramon tomorrow morning, and we'll release the brackets for NCS baseball and softball. Both teams likely top 8. For the boys, I'd say about 5 to 7. For the girls, I would say about 4 to 6. But always interesting to see how the NCS will treat an SCL champion. Both teams SCL champions. Same with the girls track team as well. They go back-to-back, part of a very successful spring season for the Trojans. One of the most successful in recent memories, with the majority of the spring sports went to Petaluma. I think 6 champions, if you count them all just in the spring, and then 9 in total, which is the most successful this decade. As you can see, Hong is underway along with the rest of the runners. It's sort of hard to judge where everyone is in terms of in retrospect to other runners, just because the curves are deceiving. Hard to come up with words this late in the afternoon as the sun sets, but it's been a gorgeous day for track. Hong making his way around, but Trojans 4x4 girls team look tired, and same with the boys. Hong looks a little bit tired out there. He's ran a couple races. He finished 17th in the boys 100, canned out 19th. So we saw both of those good performances there. So at the handoff, oh, there was a spill by Ukiah. A Ukiah runner is down. Meanwhile, the Trojans are giving it off to Ronshausen. However, the lead is to Redwood. Redwood comfortably in the lead, and as they're going to come to the line, the Trojans will be in second to last. It's the freshman's Ronshausen has it. Kielsberg in front of him, Arcata behind him. Luke Ronshausen, only a freshman. He made the trip up just for this. His older brother, Colton Ronshausen, also on the cross-country team and the track team as well. Narrowly missed today in the 1600, but that's such a deep field, even though he had such a good time.
Coaches,
it's hard to.
Remember, we're having a scratch
So
meeting
Redwood
after
comfortably in the
meeting
lead
is
here in this
concluded.
first heat of the
If you
boys,
could give your
4x10.
scratches to the league meet director or the league
So
representative.
after this one is
that
done,
would
we'll
help a
continue to have
lot.
full coverage of the baseball and softball as far as they go in NCS. Who knows how far they could go. They both have a lot of talent, and we will look forward to seeing that. So even though Ukiah fell down, they are still in third place. It was really after the handoff, as the Trojans have given it up to Sullivan now. Jack Sullivan, the sophomore. This is a young team, but Jack Dunbar, I believe, will anchor it today. So we will get to see him, but the Trojans have fallen into last place. The handoff not good. There is a pack that Sullivan's trying to get to.
In 6th place from Pioneer High School with a jump of 39.11.
See Sullivan right on the tail of Sonoma,
Rian
Arcata,
Ball.
and Eureka, and Sullivan will pass Eureka. They might have got tangled up there a little bit too. But good job by Sullivan. He's picking off people one at a time. That's what you have to do. Find someone and you go get them. That's what they tell you. So we'll see what Dunbar can do here on the last leg for the Trojans. Not a good handoff there, as
With equal jump.
Dunbar stumbled a little bit coming out. Not the perfect communication. The handoff so vital in terms of time. Redwood running away with it. Ukiah's in second. It's Tamalpais in third, followed by Sonoma Santa Rosa, and right now the Trojans. This is Nathan Hale. And Hale, you can tell, for the Trojans, not
In
Jack
third place
Dunbar.
with a jump of 40 feet,
Trying
3 inches.
to pass Santa Rosa and
Marquette
move
High
up, and
School,
he,
Jason,
at the
the
get to the
goalkeeper.
curve, will be able
In
to at
second
the
place
curve.
with a jump of
Hale
41 feet,
was
7
in the 400 today. We didn't catch him, he was on the
School,
second leg.
Will Holden
But he
Wingate.
finished second in the 400, so he's a talented runner. And he's picked off 2 people, trying to pick off 1 more. Sonoma is in front of them. And Hale with great speed moving forward. It's going to be close. Hale will not be able to catch Sonoma. Oh my goodness, he fell. Now the Dragon fell. He was really pushing it, trying to make sure Hale
And your
can make it, and he
2018
collapsed.
NCS
Hopefully
boys
he'll
triple
be
jump champion.
all right. But
with a jump
Trojans
of
will
43
finish
feet,
here
4
in
1/2
4th
inch from
in this
Elmelino
3rd
High
leg.
School.
So that will do
Jack
it for the Trojans
Fricker.
and races as we are really winding down the afternoon. We're going to get some interviews and wrap it up next.
All right, we are here with Sydney Dennis after the Redwood Empire NCS track meet. And you had 4 events today. You qualified to the Meet of Champions next weekend in all 4 of those. First of all, how are you able to juggle all 4 of those?
I actually qualified in 3.
Oh, 3. Sorry.
I got 8th in the 100. I think just doing them all season, I guess I was just kind of used to going to all 4 events.
How do you change your focus from event to event? You have the long jump, the triple jump, 300-meter hurdles, and you're able to excel in all of them.
I think my teammates really help me focus on which event I'm doing, because I have different teammates that do the hurdles and then different teammates who jump with me.
You had good success in the 300-meter hurdles today, a 4th place finish, very impressive, and you won SCL in that as well. It's really an interesting event because it's endurance with the hurdles. How are you able to succeed in that?
I think running against really fast people. I was running against Lizzie and Habiba and Lauren, and I think they just pushed me to go faster.
As you mentioned, you have sort of a couple rivals. You have in the jump from Fortuna and from Annalie, you have both people that are similar to you that you've been able to compete with a lot in the year. How have they been able to push you and keep both of you improving?
I think I'm pretty competitive, so I think just pushing myself to try and do better and win whatever I can helps me to improve.
You have the Meet of Champions next weekend. How do in the next week you improve, and what's your mindset going into the best of the best meet?
Well, I don't think I'll qualify for state, so I'll just go to MOC and just try my best and do what I can. So.
All right, thank you, Sydney. Good luck.
Thank you.
We are here with Jack Dunbar after the NCS Redwood Empire meet here, and you raced in probably the most exciting race of the day in the 1600. You were in the pack for most of the race, and then on that last lap, it looked like you found something. Take us through that.
I was going against some good competition today. The guy who won the race, he's nationally ranked. He's really good. He's, 3rd in the nation. So had some good competition. Just took advantage of it. Just sat in the race, waited for the opportunity, and just let it loose and gave it everything I had at the end. Tried my best. I took 2nd, but finishing behind a guy like that is, it's pretty eye-opening.
Did you have that strategy coming in to be patient, sit around the middle, and then really have that push on that last lap?
Yeah, so that's generally the way I run is it's called a sit and kick strategy, is that I just sit behind whoever, is in the race, and I kind of let them do all the work for me, and then, at the end, I just outkick everyone with some leg speed. And it usually, works most of the time. It worked today. It's worked for me in the past. So, yeah, definitely before this race, I was going into it with that attitude that, I'm going to let everyone else do the work for me and then just kind of do my thing after.
You finished 2nd in a field that was considered maybe the deepest event here in the 1600. How much was this a fulfillment of all the hard work you've done in cross country and track over the last 4 years here at Petaluma?
It was a pretty big deal. I didn't exactly hit the time I wanted. I did run a great time. I think I ran about, it was 4:21, which I'm very happy with. But generally speaking, with the competition that was here, I think I potentially could have run a lot faster. But like I said before, finishing behind someone who's that caliber of a runner is it's very eye-opening, and it's very accomplishing. It gives a lot of validation. It's just a nice feeling. So I'm happy with my performance. Yeah.
Finally, next week you have the meet of champions. You have never made it to state before in cross-country track. You've been so close a bunch of times. How do you make it different next weekend?
I'm not really sure, just because, like you said, I haven't been able to run at that state level. So I'm just going to go into it with the same attitude. I'm running against a lot of people with, a lot of potential, and running with a lot of people who can potentially run very fast times. And so, just do the same thing. Just, I'll say, let them do the work for me, do my thing, hopefully run a good time, and we'll see how it goes.
Thank you so much, Jack. Good luck next week. That is going to do it from a long day here at Santa Rosa High, a very exciting day of track and field at the North Bay's best athletes here in the Redwood Empire. Maria Carrillo wins both the boys and the girls team events, but Petaluma Trojans really shined in a variety of events. Jack Dunbar's race had to be the highlight in the 1600, sitting in the pack, as we mentioned, and then really accelerating. He almost knocked off one of the top racers from Redwood in the entire state. Also qualified in the 800. We saw Cale Seaver with a fantastic performance in the pole vault to finish 4th, and he'll be headed to the Meet of Champions in Berkeley next weekend. We got to see Sydney Dennis compete in her 4 events, and she qualifies in 3 of them, the most of any Trojan athlete. Really remarkable. She's so versatile. She can truly do it all. She'll be in the long jump, the triple jump, which she finished in 2nd today, and the 300-meter hurdles. She says she doesn't have a shot at shape, but she's so athletic, you never know. Next week in Berkeley, Trojans haven't had an athlete at the state tournament in Clovis in a long time. It's been a while. Coach Doug Johnson would definitely like that. This is a talented group of both seniors, but also some young runners. Courtney Bell and Callie Sullivan qualify as well in the sprinters, and the 4x100 team, the 4x100 girls team for the Trojans qualifies as well. Overall, as a team, both teams finish in the top 10 for points overall. So it really showed the team aspect. There were a lot of athletes out there even though they weren't going to qualify for state and knew it, they provided points, they worked hard, set PRs. That's what it's all about. The top Trojan athletes really performed well here this afternoon and morning. It was a pleasure coming out covering the track team. Hope to do it again next year. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to check out all of our other sports coverage on Trojan Live, including baseball live stream Tuesday, as they will be having the first round of NCS and the softball team as well. So don't miss all of that. I am Griffin Epstein, and that's going to do it here from Santa Rosa High. Sydney Dennis, Jack Dunbar, and Cale Seaver and others moving on to the Meet of Champions in Berkeley next weekend, but an overall successful weekend here at Santa Rosa High. So long.